what's up, and welcome to another episode. Coffee Talks episode 8. Yeah, let's go. Here we go. Alright, everyone, we're going to be talking about DCU future. That's right, we're going to be talking about James Gunn's future with the DCU. And we're going to talk about what's going on with Superman movie and my wish list of the DC. Yeah, let's go. DC Universe. Let's go. Welcome to the Coffee Talks. I got my small, look at the memorabilia. I got a Superman. I got Smallville season 1 right there, and I got Superman, and I got a Superman comic. Let's go. Let's get on with the show. Let's get more guests here. Right now, guys, if you guys wondering, I'm filming this live on TikTok. Yeah, let's go. All right. So, if you guys are brand new right now to the Coffee Talks episodes, right now we film them live, and we're going to be talking about the DC movies, such as the future of it. We're going to talk about what's going on with the future of the DC Comics, not DC Comics in general, but we're going to talk about the DC Universe in general. With James Gunn announcing the reboot of it all, and we're going to talk about the future of DC Universe, and as well, my wish list of Superman movie. That's right, I did a theory episode of Theory Sundays, and I did a legit what my theory might be of James Gunn's legit future of Superman. Let's get on with the episode. Alright. So, now first off, furthermore, we're going to talk about what's going on with DC Universe. We're going to talk about what's going on, what's happening, and all that stuff. So, here we go. So, my theory, this is my opinion, guys. Take this as a grain of salt. It's all about opinions. It's all just opinions. Nothing more, nothing less, and nothing more. Let me take this off because let's get serious real quick. So, nonetheless, what's going on with the DC Universe world? We all know what happened to it. Since 2013, they were making it legit a DC Universe connected to each other, which is Zack Snyder's. All the universe that he was trying to make a connection of legit what we're trying to get with the MCU, but with the DCEU. So, nonetheless, we got all that. We all know what happened to that route. We all know what happened to the DCEU that was current before James Gunn got the reins of it. But, nonetheless, all the mess, all the mumbo-jumbo mess that we got of the DCEU, they need somebody like a Kevin Feige. Who they got in 2022 of this year is none other than James Gunn and Peter Safran. So they got to clean up the mess that Zack Snyder and the other studios of the Warner Brothers did. But the best thing that Zack Snyder did throughout the whole universe was the casting. Nonetheless, the casting didn't enough save the whole franchise. Even The Rock was trying to save the franchise of the current DCEU with his Black Adam movie, but we all know the box office didn't reach out to the highest standards. So nevertheless, that means Black Adam, let's see, it might be in the future, might not be. So nonetheless, in my opinion, I don't think so. But I hope so. I'm hopeful. I'm optimistic. So let's see. And there's another user that said, how are we getting on Earth 23 Superman movies and the DCU Superman movies at the same time? Honestly, I don't know. So they're trying to, one of the users say about the J.J. Abrams or Takeshi Coates Superman movie, which is actually deals with probably Val-Zod or President Superman in a multiverse, but nevertheless, it's like kind of like saying like a black label, like a comic book run that they're dealing with their own universe, just like Robert Pattinson. Robert Pattinson might intertwine with the DC universe with James Gunn, or might not be. Like it stands alone in his own universe, just like Joker movies. So that's my opinion about it. I have a theory that is going to be just a standalone universe thing. It's going to be just not connected to anything, the current plan that James Gunn has. So back to the topic of what's going on with the DC Universe. So James Gunn is cleaning up the mess. So everybody wants to blame James Gunn of the firing of legit making a reboot of Henry Cavill's Superman. My opinion, guys, if you guys really want to know what's my opinion, who you should be mad at, it should not be James Gunn or The Rock or Warner Brothers or even DC. It's legit Zack Snyder. Let's face the music. Let's face the truth. Zack Snyder is the blame for this. I understand the tragic loss that he got with his daughter. I understand why the Zack Snyder movement was involved, because honestly, it was a good charity. It was a good, legit cause. Legit suicide prevention. I lost a family member of suicide. So I understand that's very hit deep home. But nonetheless, you gotta understand something. Zack Snyder, when he made Man of Steel, that film of Superman is supposed to be triumphant of joy, triumphant of legit, a beautiful, a hopeful story of take. Yes. Well, yeah, what's up, you collector? Get with that. It's true. Zack Snyder is the blame of this whole mess that we in. If we didn't, Zack Snyder swears that he claims that he's a fan of all these comics, but he only read the highest ones. Like legit, he's a fan of Batman. The only comic he ever read of Batman was Frank Miller's version of The Dark Knight Returns, and he thought, oh, you know, fuck it, they could versus each other. Batman and Superman could fight each other because this is an iconic take of a character of this iconic comic book run. Nonetheless, he didn't read no more. He didn't read Batman legit year Halloween. He didn't read like legit Matt Reeves no more Batman than Zack Snyder did. But you could clearly tell that Zack Snyder really wanted to do a Batman film instead of a Superman film. So we got that mess of Man of Steel. We got a good casting choice. Henry Cavill was legit a legit iconic character of that character. Legit, he was an iconic actor portraying an iconic character. So he was legit fit for the part. He looks like the part, but the direction of the character didn't make high standards to the Warner Brothers. So, wait, I'm sorry. I'm making a good take. So I'm sorry, guys. This is our own individual take of a coffee podcast. Sorry, no guest. So, my opinion is that that's the reason why. So then we got BVS. We got the worst casting choice of Lex Luthor ever. Jesse Eisenberg. What the fuck was that choice? But we got the good Wonder Woman, which is Gal Gadot. We got Ben Affleck as Batman, but it was still not a high standards of a point. We're supposed to still talk about this day about a BVS movie, legit a Batman and Superman movie, a world's finest movie. But we did it, and then it's, next thing you know, then we got the Justice League movie with just Joss Whedon one, the one that came out in 2017, which is a horrendous mess of a fucking movie. But next thing you know, it's just. It didn't. We supposed to still talk about it this day. Like we still talk about the Avengers film from 2012 and the Avengers Endgame to this day. We still talk about it, but we're not even talking. We're talking about the mess that they made, and for God's sake, such a mess. They had to release a freaking cut of it, and it had to be a movement of it. Then we got the real cut of it, and it still didn't. We still didn't talk about it. So that's what I'm trying to say. Zack Snyder ruined the characters that we love. He got a good casting choice, which is good. He reinvented the character of Aquaman. Aquaman was a laughing joke from the Super Friends, and as well, like his comics, like Jeff Johns reinvented him too. But it's not until Jason Momoa became Aquaman that like, all right, this guy actually is Aquaman. But hopefully he is Lobo, so I'm actually rooting for more Lobo than Aquaman for him. But that's what I'm trying to say. The whole moral of the story is that he got a good casting choice. The worst casting choice he ever did was Ezra Miller as Barry Allen. What the fuck was that? But Year the Collector said the Snyder Justice League movie was good, but too little too late. Exactly. It wasn't hopeful. It wasn't to save the freaking franchise. They thought that he was, but he didn't. He ruined the character. So the only person you guys had to blame, and the world had to blame, not James Gunn, not Warner Brothers, not DC Comics, not The Rock, not Henry Cavill, nobody but Zack Snyder himself. He fucked up the characters. He didn't know what the characters were. The Superman that we got wasn't joyful, hopeful. It had to wait many years just to get that freaking joyful, hopeful, just like Smallville. Smallville is a good inspiration of the character Superman with the true essence of the character, especially this comic book run too. And I like it. But like All-Star Superman and the Justice League Unlimited series, Superman animated series, that's what Superman is about, is a hopeful, joyful, compassion, empathy towards the human, towards us, to everybody, to the world. That's what Superman is. But Zack Snyder didn't understand the character. He understood it too little too late. So that's why they got a reboot, and I'm 100% on James Gunn's side of rebooting the character, making it younger, appreciate the character. We gotta get a young cast as Superman and the rest as well, as was Lois Lane, and as well Lex Luthor and the rest of the cast of the Rogue Galleries. So we need to establish this character more into the future, because at the end of the day, there's a lot of stuff you could do with Superman. He's a son, he's a father, for God's sakes. So we can do that. We can establish that story, future and on. That's my opinion about what's going on with DC Universe. What's my opinion about the story of it, the source about it. What's the problem about it? And my opinion about it is quite simple. Zack Snyder fucked up the whole mess of the DC Universe before James Gunn was there. And if Zack Snyder knew about the characters, everybody legit he knew about it, we won't be in this mess. James Gunn won't be the head of the studios. We won't even have Henry Cavill fired as a role. But he didn't understand the characters. He didn't know what the characters were. And honestly, even Patty Jenkins didn't understand the assignment. When Wonder Woman, only except for Wonder Woman 1, the sequel, what the fuck was that, Patty Jenkins? So honestly, and then there's Ben Affleck didn't got a good retribution as Batman unless he got Zack Snyder run, meaning Zack Snyder Justice League. Even that's too little too late. So you can guess what? Reboot the whole fucking thing. Make everybody younger. And I'm sorry if I'm cursing, but that's what I'm trying to say. I'm tired of everybody blaming on others, blaming James Gunn, DC, Warner Brothers. No, it's Zack Snyder. Zack Snyder ruined the characters from the jump, and that's it. But nonetheless, that's what I think. So, one of the questions of the Soldier Boy in 1980 said, who would you cast as Nightwing in live action? My opinion, they should go for someone younger. So I honestly, it's going to take them a long time. They're going to get Robin first, then they're going to establish more. So they got to get somebody. My opinion, if they're going to reboot the whole thing, get Aster Angel that played Billy Batson from Shazam. Get him as Robin, and you could get him as Nightwing. That's what I think. We got another comment from Arcane Tyrant said, I have a question. Did Henry Cavill leave Witcher because he was promised a role as Superman? Honestly, to tell you the truth, no. Honestly, we got that result right there. He did not got a promise to become Superman. Honestly, his agents thought that he was going to be Superman of the new DC universe, but we all know how the box office of Black Adam came out. That scratched out the whole plan, and that was kind of re-envisioned the character more as Henry Cavill Superman. But we all know what happened to the box office of Black Adam. It ruined that dream. So therefore, Henry Cavill Superman got ruined as well. So we got to get a new reboot, which is James Gunn's making into a new Superman in the younger years. So that's the next topic. So guys, here's the next topic, which is Superman movie with James Gunn. Let's go. Let's talk about it. All right. So I'm guessing the old owner promised it before James Gunn. Honestly, it was more like to the sense of they were actually debating. When they were saying, okay, let's see if this film, let's see if the box office actually, let's see if this movie got more noise than it actually got the other noise. They want the good noise. They don't want the bad noise. And guess what? Black Adam was getting the bad noise. So therefore, the only reason why that Black Adam got so much freaking hype, honestly, is be truth. It's because of the post-credits scene. Henry Cavill came back as Superman. But then even that could even save the movie. So that's why James Gunn made the decision, guys, we got to reboot the character. Which makes sense. So that's the reason why we're in this topic, which is Superman movie with James Gunn. So guys, if you guys don't know, understand that James Gunn's writing the new reboot version of Superman, taking place in the younger years and legit in Metropolis, as him as a cub reporter with all the Lois Lane, Jimmy Olsen, Perry White, even Stephen Longbar, I believe that's the character's name, the guy that's like a little cocky prick in the Daily Bulletin, Daily Planet, like legit he's all muscle bound. But nonetheless, that's what it's about. It's legit gonna deal with as a reporter, him dealing with him as a younger years and dealing him as Superman. I love it. And Arcane Tyrant said again, do you think James Gunn should switch it up and make a Supergirl movie instead? No. Supergirl should have priority. In my opinion, she should be in a sequel of Superman and then have a spin-off movie with her and the Legion of Superheroes. That's my theory. That's my opinion. Supergirl deserves her own solo film, but not with combined with Superman. It should be in a sequel and her team up with him, or make her in a spin-off series or a spin-off movie with her in the Legion of Superheroes. Supergirl deserves the world. I love Supergirl, but not with Superman. Superman, we need Superman. We need to establish the character himself. We need more Superman. We haven't got a true Superman film besides 2013. And that was the only one that we got, believe it or not. And the Superman and Lois show. We need legit a Superman film first. And Wolf R says 95% of all, except Batman, all is terrible movies. Even the Batman movie that Matt Reeves came out this year was a good movie. That's what we need. And Soldier Boy 1980 said, I think the Superman movies will be more like Smallville. You see, that's what I love. I'm a huge fan of Smallville. We need to, this character, the show is legit the true essence of what the character is, represents. The family, the empathy. Legit, the family lessons establish this beautiful character from season 1 all the way to 10. Even for the last episode 10, the father, Jonathan Kent, give him the suit. I love it. But nonetheless, this is what we need. We need the hopeful, the joyful, legit, the smiling Superman that we deserve. Legit, the Superman that we know when we look up to the sky, we know we're going to be okay because he is going to save us at the end of the day. Because Superman is that beacon of hope. Yes. And one of the questions of Robert Oliver says, 646, how about Jacob Elordi as a new young Clark Kent Superman? Hell no. No Jacob Lordy. Jacob Lordy should be Cyclops, aka Scott Summers. There's an actor named Wolfgang, I believe his last name is Nostros, something like that. He should be a young Superman. Or not David Corin Sweat, legit, he should be a young Superman. Or Nicholas Hoult, the Beast from X-Men, should be the young Superman. Someone that looks like the character, not Jacob Lordy. He does not look, not even close like the character. Nothing, not even a scratch, not even an inch. Nothing. He looks more like Cyclops, Scott Summers, than he does as Clark Kent Superman. And he does not resemble Superman what he's about. No. KJ Apa as Wally West. Yes, KJ Apa as Wally West. So, guys, let's talk about the movie about Superman written by James Gunn. Not directed by, but written. So, James Gunn, if you guys don't know, he's writing a new Superman reboot film without Henry Cavill reprising his role. That's it. Henry Cavill hang up his cape. No more Superman of Henry Cavill. That's it. That ship is done. But he could play another DC character. And if I have the fan cast on the spot for Henry Cavill, I will give him Orion, the New Gods Orion. He good established character. He could be in that DC universe. He could be working with the new Superman, and that could fit in around the same area as with a connection with Superman as well with Darkseid and all that mumbo jumbo with the New Gods. So I would love to see Henry Cavill as portraying one of the Superman family, or with the Superman villains family, or with separate like allies of Superman. Something that deals with the realm, that he's not too far from the character that he used to play iconically. So I would see him as Orion. Maybe if it'll be Eradicator, he could be Eradicator as the as Superman, or he could play as Orion as the New Gods. So one of the Arcane Tyrants said, I'm hoping they will do Constantine movie or maybe Zatanna. Let's see, my dude. They have to establish the main core Justice League. Then they could jump into the other side of the obscure characters, just like Justice League Dark, such as Zatanna, Etrigan, and the Demon Slayer, the Demon guy. We could Deadman, Swamp Thing. We could introduce Constantine and Robert Oliver 646. I think Henry Cavill will be very busy with Warhammer. Let's see, and that's the only thing too. Let's see, hopefully, because honestly, this establishment of James Gunn new DC universe won't happen after 2024. So let's see by 2025, 2026, if Henry Cavill could have a free slate. We're talking about a few years from now. We're not talking about tomorrow that he's going to do another role. So, other than that, let's see. I know you're right. Just I really want to see them. They're such a cool characters. I would love to see them Arcane too. So, the Superman movie that is written by James Gunn is happening. But we don't know who got cast. We don't know what's going on. All we know is taking place in the younger years of this beautiful, iconic character, Superman Clark Kent. So I did a theory episode today of Theory Sundays. So my theory episode that I did, that's what I'm actually hoping for, and that's what I'm actually thinking that they're going to do. I'm thinking they're going to take inspiration from two iconic comic book lines, Superman Man of Tomorrow and Superman Earth 1. And they'll start kind of take place at the younger years of Superman, and especially the Superman Earth 1 takes place is like legit what they're actually hoping for, what they're actually shooting for. They're actually shooting that route more. And it takes place as legit Clark Kent establishing who he is, establishing who he's supposed to become as Superman, Superman. So that's what he's supposed to be destined to be. So nonetheless, that's what I'm thinking. I did a theory episode. That's what they're going to take inspiration from the comic book line. And the villains in those two storylines are legit Parasite. So Parasite from the Superman Man of Tomorrow comic book line, even the animation movie, Parasite was the main villain. So I have a theory that legit, I have a freaking theory actually, that he's gonna be the main villain of the movie. Parasite, something that never got established before, something that they never used, only for Smallville, and especially in the villain of the movie. Parasite, something that never got established before, something that they never used, only for Smallville, and especially in the animation movies, but never in a live action, never. And that's surprising, never gone legit Parasite, and even the big screens. So that's my theory, that they're gonna go for legit Parasite. I've been campaigning for this. I really want to see Metallo. I love Metallo as a villain for Superman. It's kind of cool. Like his Achilles heel is legit kryptonite, and I love that legit. You got a villain that his weakness is to make one of the iconic villains as well for Superman. Love it, love it. I want to see Metallo, I want to see Bizarro. That's one of my theories too. And as well, iconic Lex Luthor. You have to have Lex Luthor. If you're gonna make a Superman movie, you have to have Lex Luthor. I know you guys don't want to see Lex Luthor, but you have to have Lex Luthor. And we need a redemption Lex Luthor, not the one that we got from BVS. And the worst casting ever is Jesse Eisenberg as Lex Luthor. Jesse Eisenberg should come back as Jimmy Olsen, but not Lex Luthor. Fuck him as Lex Luthor. I'm sorry, Jesse Eisenberg, you're an amazing actor, but you fucked it up with Lex Luthor. You shouldn't even you shouldn't even look at the comic book and look at it and be like, this is not me, bro. I should not be playing this. You should have said it right there and then. You should have left the character right there and then. You'd be like, yeah, I can't play this. I'm out. So that's what you should have done. But nonetheless, you got to make a Superman movie including Lex Luthor. I'm sorry, you have to. So that's my theory. Hopefully that's what I think that's gonna happen. So written by James Gunn. We all know James Gunn is gonna do it a phenomenal job. We all know that he actually wrote an amazing piece of Guardian of the Holiday Special. He wrote an amazing Guardian of the Galaxy actually franchise from volume 1 all the way to volume 3 that's coming out in May. So thank you, Sam Blakely. He said, nice shirt. Thank you. Love Superman. So nonetheless, that's why I always assume that James Gunn is an amazing writer. He hits the empath, he hits the emotions. So I love it. So, and Soldier Boy 1980 said I was called crazy for saying Jesse Eisenberg as Jimmy Olsen. Actually, he was supposed to, fun fact, he was supposed to get casted as that role, but then Zack Snyder saw him and like, can you do Lex Luthor? So look what happened. I think Zack Snyder does not know what the fuck he's directing when he did that movie. So nonetheless, that's what I'm saying. Zack Snyder, no, don't come back as DC Universe. I love you, my dude. I know you went through a tragic time, but other than that, you should understand something, bro. Comic books are legit right there, right in front of your face. It's not that hard to get a comic book, actually look at it, and actually read when you're researching the characters that you're fucking directing. That's my opinion. I'm sorry if I'm cursing a lot, but that's how frustration I got. Nobody should not be blaming James Gunn, the DC Comics. They should be blaming Zack Snyder because Zack Snyder messed it up. If Zack Snyder actually opened a comic book of Superman, this wouldn't be happening. We would still have Henry Cavill Superman, we would still have the DC Universe, and we'd still be good. But James Gunn came to clean up the mess. And guess what? I'm sorry, it has to be reboot. And I'm with James Gunn with all my life because I love his work. I'm a big fan of him. He's like one of my top 5 favorite filmmakers ever. And I love his writing, I love his direction. So anything that he touches is a gold. I love it, I love it. So nevertheless, I'm hopeful, I'm optimistic, I'm hopeful. So that's the topic of Superman's film that written by James Gunn. Hopefully, I hope he directs it because I know he loves obscures, underrated characters. So we could get Mr. Mississippi, and we could get legit like Bizarro for sure. Because I know we all fell in love with a tree and Rocket, right? So we could get Mr. Mississippi, and we could get legit like Bizarro for sure. Because I know we all fell in love with a tree and Rocket, Raccoon. Imagine he could legit reinvented Bizarro. We could fall in love with that beautiful character. I'm a big fan of Bizarro too. So let's take next topic is DC Future. The thing I didn't like about the DCU was Ben Affleck as Batman. I like Ben Affleck as Batman. I'm not gonna lie. I was a good adamant for him as Batman. He was a good portrayal. Just the direction, the writing, it's just those two things that could fuck up the character. You need those two established. You need something good. You need legit boundaries. You need a structure with those characters. You have one of them off balance. That's what happened. It was off balance film. So the DC Future, my opinion about the DC Future is safe. It's safe with the hands of James Gunn and Peter Safran. We just got to give trust with them. Just like they came from a good established franchise. They came from legit, actually James Gunn came from legit the MCU. He left the MCU legit because of the Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. That's it, he's done. Now he's legit the head studios and legit he's running things in the DC universe and DC studios. So he came from good job, like legit he learned from Kevin Feige, one of the greatest architects of franchises of legit Marvel. He knows what he's doing. So he learned from the best. So he's established what he learned into the DC studio. So we're safe. We're good. Especially with James Gunn and Peter Safran. Peter Safran is a producer. He knows how to produce horror franchise, just like Insidious, Conjuring stuff, etc., etc. So he knows how to establish. He knows what's good for movies and movie theaters. He knows what's trending. He knows what's head. He knows everything. He knows what's hits and not hits. He knows. He knows. So we're safe. That's my opinion. So now let's move to the future of the wish list of the movies of the DC universe. If you guys wondering, I want to see Legion of Superheroes. That's one of the things I wish for. I want Legion of Superheroes. I know we're getting animation films. I've been reading recently of Legion of Superheroes from Jeff Johns, from Superman and the Legion of Superheroes. I believe somewhat, I forgot the other comic book writer, but I've been reading Jeff Johns one, and I've been reading Brian Michael Bendis one. So I'm kind of right now legit reading on my Legion of Superheroes comics. Became a fan, especially the animation side of the animation series from early 2000s. Love that animation series. Only lasted 2 seasons, which I'm bummed about, but we're getting a movie, which I'm happy about. Check my emotions. But we're getting Brian Michael Bendis' adult series coming up in HBO Max. I don't know if that still exists or not ever since the change of this. I don't know. But nonetheless, we're still getting Brian Michael Bendis' adult series coming up in HBO Max. I don't know if that still exists or not ever since the change of this. I don't know. But nonetheless, we're still getting that, actually more Legion of Superheroes. But nonetheless, we're still getting that, actually more Legion of Superheroes. So that's my wish list of movies for the DC Universe, the Green Lantern Corps film. And we need, like, honestly, we need another wish list of a movie that I'm talking about. Is another underrated character that nobody never would believe. Is honestly, I would love to see Booster Gold. I want to see a Booster Gold film with Ted Kord, with them teaming up, blue and gold movie. Legit, we need that. We need that establishment. I want to see Booster Gold. I'm a big fan of Booster Gold with Ted Kord or Hammy. With them teaming up, blue and gold movie. Legit, we need that. We need that establishment. I want to see Booster Gold. I'm a big fan of Booster Gold with Ted Kord or Hammy Reyes. Team up with them, those three, and legit make a fun adventure. Booster Gold with Ted Kord or Hammy Reyes. Team up with them, those three, and legit make a fun adventure comedy film. Let's go. And honestly, I would love to see Vixen. I would love to see Vixen. Vixen's a pretty cool character. I would like to see Plastic Man. Plastic Man, we're getting it, so we're getting that. But we haven't heard for anything else besides that's probably going to cancel the, maybe that's how it's going to establish the reboot. Just like, remember, but we haven't heard for anything else besides that's probably going to cancel the, maybe that's how it's going to establish the reboot. Just like, remember the animation side that we got the Justice League Apocalypse War or Justice League, probably going to cancel the, maybe that's how it's going to establish the reboot. Just like, remember the animation side that we got the Justice League Apocalypse War or Justice League, the last one that we established Tomorrowverse. Love it, love it. But you remember how the light that established Tomorrowverse. Love it, love it. But you remember how the light that it says, like, remember Batman says down better than this part of the future, it might be better, which is the Tomorrowverse films. Love it. Chef kiss. But I love it. But I feel like that's what's going to happen in the Flashpoint film. It's going to establish the new DC universe. We're going to reboot all the characters. We're going to get a new Flash, new Aquaman, we're getting a new Superman. We're getting new Batman, new Wonder Woman. So let's go. Get somebody younger that could carry the franchise longer. That's how I always say. So that's the future. That's what we talk about. We talk about the whole thing about topics. We talk about the DC Comics. It was a Superman-centric episode as much. So, ladies and gentlemen, everyone, they and them, thank you guys for joining another episode of Coffee Talk.